Yeah, I feel it's very much part of me. If there is a morning that I would need to just rush out of the house and I wouldn't have time to put something a little bit on, it would feel probably the same as if somebody rushes out the door without brushing their teeth. So my makeup looks, I feel, are a lot inspired by the seasons. So now it's June, so I want to do something that is very light, bronzy, glowy, easy and fast. So I'm gonna start with my base, and this is actually still skincare. So this is my SPF product. It's mineral, a little bit tinted, and I'm gonna mix these bronzing drops into it. Just gonna do 2 fat drops. I'm gonna mix it in the back of my hand. And I kind of want to have a good amount of it because this is my SPF protection, so that you actually get the protection that is said here in the product. You have to have quite a lot. I don't want the result to be, you know, much darker than my actual skin tone, but a little bit warmer, a little bit more bronzy. So also make sure that it's on my eyelids because it's SPF. Under the eyes, here. Yeah, kind of used it all on my face now, but I'm gonna blend it a little bit on the neck. That is not much bronzier face and a white neck. So next thing I'm gonna add is this. I love this. This is Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, and it's something between a foundation, primer, and a highlighter. And then I'm gonna apply it on the high points of my face. So on the cheekbones. Also on the eyelids. It's kind of now acting as a light eyeshadow base. Under eyebrows, on top of the lip, chin, nose. And this is one of my favorite things. Put it on the inner corner of the eyes. So I do first all the creamy products and then I move to the powdery products. So the next thing is blush. Mauve color, pinkish. So for this blush, it's been on the back of my hand for a moment. I take a brush and then just soak it in there. And then I'm gonna tap it. I think there's enough. The high points of my face. So sometimes, another tip, if sometimes the makeup application feels like why isn't it working, is because the products under the product or whatever you're trying to apply is not yet absorbed or it's not settled yet. So I'm gonna let all this skin thing to rest there for a moment. I'm gonna get into the eyes. I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna use my bronzer as an eyeshadow, and I'm gonna start where I want the color to be darkest. So kind of like on the outer corner here of the eye, close to the eyelash line, and then just blend it in the crease and yeah, on top of the brow bone. Another tip, why sometimes it's like, why isn't my makeup working? Or it doesn't apply the way I want to, is to look where you're actually holding the brush. So if you hold it really close, then you get like a strong dark line in there. But usually, like let's say a blush or a bronzer or eyeshadow, you kind of want to hold it like lightly, like a far away from the bristles. Then you apply it much more lightly and you kind of have much more control. Maybe if you're doing an eyeliner with a brush or with a pencil, then you want it to be maybe a little bit closer. The sparkle to the eye. So again, kind of like a more cold tone, a little bit. It's brown, but really like a taupey, turns silver, so that's nice for me. And yeah, I'm gonna blend it with finger. Gonna see if I want it really on the inner corner, no. So I'm just gonna add an eyeliner in the roots of the lashes. This is the best product for it, I find. So it's Hourglass Gel Eyeliner in dark brown. Only bad thing about it that I have no idea when it's going to end. So when this is how you turn it and you get a little bit more. And then it's just gonna be one day, then I turn it and nothing comes out and there's no warning about that. And they actually go through quite fast. So I really want this eyeliner to be in the roots of the lashes, not here on the waterline, not on top of the eyelid. And this is also very easy way to kind of continue this as a cat eyeliner. But we're not gonna do that today, that's kind of the next step. And yeah, this is something, if you do it for the first time, that feels very weird, but you get used to it. And also to keep it the more natural, that it really looks like that I have very good volume on the roots of my lashes. I don't bring it at all to the inner corner where there's no lashes. I stopped it where the lashes end. And then I'm gonna curl my lashes. And yeah, as a kid when I was reading all those women's magazine and get like really obsessed with all the makeup products, this was one of the products that I remember in there. I read maybe when I was 12, like, this is the best eyelash curler, and then I needed to have it, and I've been trusting that information still since. I think it's a Japanese brand, I think. So first you put them on the roots of your lashes, press, then in the middle, press and kind of turn, and maybe a little forward. And always make sure that you got these outer corner lashes, which I think I got. I think curling your lashes makes such a difference for the eyes. And sometimes I tell the client, I'm gonna curl your lashes now, and if their face is kind of like, okay, and I'm like, do you curl your lashes? Like, no, and I'm like, I'm gonna change your life. And then mascara. I like my mascara to be really clump-free and kind of glossy lashes, really natural. So this is not like a mascara, it's a tinted primer. It's dark brown. I think it's very long-lasting, it doesn't move anywhere. I'm gonna first do kind of zigzag on the roots of the lashes and then turn the lash wand. Make sure like the tips of the lashes have color too. And again that you hit really the outer corner lashes. And I do the brows. And I kind of want my eyebrows to be as big as possible, not necessarily darker, but bigger. Or it doesn't have a super good hold. Some eyebrow gels are like glue, but they're mostly clear. There's no pigment in it. But maybe because this is pigment, it is not so good hold. And also my eyebrows are just the type that they are kind of, the hair is really long and it likes to hang down. So it's, you know, a lot to ask for my eyebrow gel. And this is this is Bare Minerals Mineral Concealer. This is their, I think, like a foundation brush, but I think it works really well for this. Just gonna let it really swirl it in there. And then the same kind of swirling motion to my face. And this is actually quite high coverage. And I don't necessarily want for myself things to be very high coverage. Like if there is like, yeah, of course, if there is like a disgusting pimple, I want to hide it, it to go away. But if there's like a little scarring there or dark circles, it's more like to have it blurred a little bit away than to really cover it and then cause possibly some kind of ugly texture in there. And then I have some redness between the eyebrows, so I always kind of do this. We're gonna do the bronzer that I already used as an eyeshadow, orange shadow. And this is, I have almost used it in the end. And it's like a badge of honor, you know, when you use a makeup product until the end. Don't blow in the brush, tap it off. And then, even though I have fringe, I'm gonna add a bronzer in there. There's no reason, because nobody's gonna see it. But really, on the hairline, and with bronzer, it's really important to make sure it's really on the hairline and there's no space between, like a bronzer starts here and there's a white cap and then it's your hair. That's gonna look bad. So this is where sun would bronze you naturally. And then on the cheekbones. For some reason, when I add a bronzer on top of my nose, I think that's gonna make me look more bronzy. Not when it's on the cheek or anywhere else, but this is the one that makes difference. I think I'm just gonna a little bit blend the eyeshadow. But I'm gonna start with lip liner. It's Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. It's like a nude pink color. And I'm just gonna slightly overline. So where kind of my pigment ends, I'm gonna instead line it where the meaty part is. And then I just color the whole lip with it, kind of just using it as not just this part, but the side of the. And I think this is now my favorite lipstick. It's really glossy result. It's from Glossier, really pink. And I like to kind of just tap it on. And I'm just gonna add a little more concealer in here, just for the purpose of removing some shine. Yep, I think that's it. Yeah, I remember like now when I think about it, I'm like, why did I use so much makeup when I was a teenager? Because you know, you have a teenager skin. And yeah, as a teenager, you know, horrible choices, awful choices with makeup. But I remember maybe in high school that I realized that I'm running late in the morning and like, oh, do I have breakfast or do I do my makeup? I would do my makeup and not have breakfast at all. Like have breakfast while I run to school or something. Like that was definitely important. Definitely would choose breakfast over makeup right now.